I'm powering up using the alligator clip. Alright. Okay, so we have the LCD screen here. We have 4 buttons over here. We have a buzzer over here. This is a buzzer. Over there, that's a buzzer. That buzzer is driven by an NPN transistor, a 2N2222A. We have 5 LEDs here to represent the different valves. And then we have 4 potentiometers to represent water levels and temperature. And then I have a switch here that, if I put to ground, represents whether there's enough tea or not enough tea leaves in the tea chamber. Alright, so then we have the 20 megahertz crystal there and a 10 kilo ohm resistor as the minimum components for the standalone PIC microcontroller. So this is a PIC16f877A. Alright? Okay, so the system has started, and what it's doing is actually in a continuous loop to check whether if a few things are okay, one of which is whether there's enough tea leaves or not. Another one is whether there's water or not in the main water tank. So if I were to reduce it, so it says error main tank, not enough water. So if I pour in enough water, at least 1 cup, if it can make 1 cup, then it will be okay. Another one is the boiling chamber. If the boiling chamber is not empty, for example, so boiling chamber is not empty, so it needs to be emptied first. Make sure it's emptied. Alright, so if it's emptied, then no more errors. The other one is the temperature. If the temperature is above room temperature, which is defined as 25 degrees Celsius over here, then an error still occurs and will occur. So if I were to reduce this to I think I have loose connections there. So if I were to reduce the chamber temperature to 25 degrees Celsius, then it's okay. So the way I define the temperature sensor is that, since they're all analog input, so for the temperature I define 120 degrees Celsius as 1023 in the analog value. So then I just do the appropriate scaling to figure out what should the analog value be for 25 degrees, 80 degrees, and 100 degrees, and 110 degrees as well. And finally, this is the mixing chamber. If it's not empty inside the mixing chamber, again, it shows an error. So you need to make sure you reduce it all the way down to 0. Alright, so then back to ready to make tea. So let's start the make tea process. So press the make tea button. Alright, so we'll choose low for tea leaf amount, and then 100 degrees Celsius for temperature, and a brew time of 2 minutes. Alright, getting water, so it means the water is being released from the main tank into the boiling chamber. So I'm adjusting the amount of water that goes into the boiling chamber. Alright, so next is the temperature. So if you notice, that's the temperature heater going up. So this is simulating an increase in temperature, and needs to go all the way up to 100 degrees. So when it does, watch what happens to the valve. Alright, so it switches off. Sorry, not the valve, the heater. So it's cooling a little. So tea leaf low, meaning that it's releasing the amount of tea. So now to release the hot water from the boiling chamber. So this is the boiling chamber. We're going to reduce it. So the idea is releasing the hot water from the boiling chamber into the mixing chamber. Alright, so hot water is completely cleared from the boiling chamber. So the mixing chamber, it also checks that it's actually, of course, it's a simulation, so of course it's going to be empty. So here I'm increasing the amount of liquid in the mixing chamber. Once it reaches 100%, then that's it. Now it's doing brewing. Alright, so it's now waiting for cup to be placed. So if I press the cup available, alright, so it's waiting for the water to be released. so I can release the water from the mixing chamber. Now at any time if I were to let go of my finger for the cup, it will go back to please place cup. So I need to press it. If you notice the LED there, the last LED represents the valve for the bottommost, the last valve that releases into the cup. So if I press it, only will the valve be open. Alright, so if I let go, it won't be open. So again, so make sure the cup is there. So then I release the brewed tea into the cup until I get to completely till the end. That's it. That's it. That was enjoy your tea. So now back to the beginning, where it's just checking all sorts of other variables. So the chamber temperature is too high. Not at room temperature. Reduce that. All right, and that's it. And that's how you make tea.